Yiskadal, Vayis.
Yishkadash Shemay.
Shemay Rabbah. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Hadassah, we're worried about you.
We want you to come stay with us.
No, I work. It's too much of a risk. I need you to be safe.
We will be fine. We miss you so much.
Miss you too, Mama.
You don't have to work. You can take a leave of absence and we can take care of you.
Papa, nothing would drive me crazier. Honestly, I'm okay. I'm holding up.
You must be lonely.
Well, then who isn't? Everyone is lonely.
Things like that, Asa, scare us.
Yeah.
Come to worship with us then.
It's synagogue? Do you know how long it's been since I've been there?
Yeah, too long, we know.
But what does that matter?
Will they even let me in?
Yes, because it's on Zoom. You don't even have to go in.
Lucky break, huh?
Wait, I'm not going. Everyone is going to want to ask me about Bubby. I can't do that.
Your grandmother was very loved. They will love to see you. She talked about you all the time.
Oh, good. So what do I need to go for then? It's like they already know me, right? The blown up version of me where I'm Golda's gorgeous, successful, nearly engaged granddaughter.
Asa, Bubby never told such lies.
It was enough ducking and dodging all the questions at her Zoom Shiva. You know how many times I had to pretend my sound was off? Like 6.
Okay. You don't have to come to synagogue.
Thank you.
But we are having a gathering, and I would love so for you to be there.
Your mother is hosting.
I am. And it's called Brave Space Discussions. You like that?
Sure. Yes. Yeah, Mama, I love it. Brave space. Wait, do you mean safe space?
No, she doesn't. Because safe spaces are places we come to be with like-minded people, and brave spaces are where we go to make change.
Oh, okay. That actually is very cool, Mama. Very progressive.
Would you do me the honor of joining us?
Mom, why do you have to say it like that?
Like what?
It's all fancy and formal. Like, I can't not do you the honor of coming if you ask me to do you the honor of coming. That's completely unfair. Just be like, you want to come so that I can say no.
But I would be honored if you came.
It's multi-faith, lots to learn. Many people who are going through the same thing you are.
Oh, really? Pandemic-based depression, mourning, anxiety, stress, fear, financial insecurity, and constipation.
Well, maybe not that.
I can't do the whole sitting around exchanging pleasantries thing.
You won't have to. You won't have to small talk at all. There are rules of engagement and structured conversation.
And you can just listen in too. But you'd get so much out of it if you engage.
When's the last time you had a conversation with strangers?
Nobody enjoys conversations with strangers.
Not strangers, new friends.
Asa, your Bubby was going to come. She'd planned to be there, but now you can take her place.
Fine, I will come.
We need a little Golda.
Indeed.
Yeah, well, all I can offer you is a little Asa. But why are you two in different Zooms?
I'm only allowed in 2 rooms in my own house now. I'm in the basement.
He snores and makes a mess. He stays down where he can't bother me.
Good night.
We love you.
We love you.
Mwah, mwah, mwah. I miss you.
Hi, it's Bill. You can start now. I'm here.
Hi, Bill.
Hi, Bill.
Marhaba. I am Siba. Hello.
Siba, nice to
Siba.
see you.
Hello.
Hi, everybody. It's Dorothy.
See?
Oh,
Hello,
Hi,
Dorothy.
Hi.
Welcome.
Hi, thank you. Thank you.
Hey there, Crystal here.
Crystal.
Hello, Crystal.
Hello.
أهلا Crystal.
Hi everyone, I'm Fatima.
Hi.
Fatima. Hi.
Hello,
Fatima.
Well, well, just a little tradition. Friends, neighbors, Hiram, thank you for being here. Our new normal, huh? I don't want tonight to feel stuffy or formal. I want us all to lay down our armor that we carry with us through the world so that we can truly meet each other, so that we can communicate openly and honestly the way we may not be able to in other places in the world. Yes?
Sounds good to
Yes.
me. Mhm.
Very good. So I called this event Brave Space because that is what you are, for simply being here. There are many, many people we could not get in this room, okay? Maybe one day, maybe never, but you're here. And that makes you brave. Asa, everyone,
Asa.
our daughter, Asa has joined.
Hello, Asa.
Hi, everyone.
Asa.
How are you?
So, where should we start, huh? Oh, what's everybody eating? Oh, before I forget, phones off, no distractions.
I have children,
Yes. Okay, tiny distractions allowed.
and what I'm eating is pie, which I'm hiding from my children.
But did you lock the door?
It doesn't have a lock, but that's a fantastic idea.
Yeah, well, I am also hiding from my kids. They have not been in school since March, and we have spent too much time together, I tell you.
Hmm.
I love them, but I don't know if I like them anymore. They're rude. So today I give them dinner, and my husband and we split the last baklava. And he's hiding too. And now I eat pumpkin seeds.
Ooh, I don't miss those days. My kids hit 16 and wanted nothing to do with me. Now they just want me to babysit.
Oh,
I'm having collards and cornbread. It's my comfort food.
Mm,
I've been needing that a lot lately.
that would go good with my jollof rice.
Oh, it sure would.
Mhm.
I'm just having some leftover meatloaf and corn. Nothing fancy.
Jollof rice is nothing fancy, just rice Nigerian style. Oh, and I'm also hiding.
Oh, so this is what awaits in motherhood, huh? I see the trend.
Yes, unfortunately, hiding is a must. They will take everything.
You don't have children yet?
Yet? Maybe never. I mean, you're not exactly selling me on it.
It's a fun club, but it's not for the weak of heart.
Can I take a stab and guess that you're eating challah?
Oh, yeah, I am. My grandmother's recipe. Well, she got it from her grandmother, so who knows whose recipe it actually was. But I made it every Friday since quarantine started.
oh, I didn't know you did that.
Yeah, I do. We used to FaceTime while I baked it. Basically all I eat now.
Now, I've had challah
Um,
before.
Challah.
Allah.
I've had challah before, but
Hey.
it was made in the style of a sourdough.
Then you had a braided sourdough, not the same.
Oh, I see. I see. Just learned something new. Check.
Well, I would give you the recipe, but I don't know if it would go over well.
Maybe not that one. But there are others out there that would be good if anybody wants to try. That recipe is close to my chest.
I have a century of recipes in my head and not written down anywhere. And then when I die, they go to my daughters. But Bill, you'll never get them.
You will not share recipes?
You can't have secret ingredients if you give out recipes, and then their food will not taste like your food, and they will tell everybody that they get the recipe from you, and they all will think that you cannot cook. No, I will make it. I will bring it.
My grandmother used to hide her recipes too. It took decades to finally get them out of her.
Well, I don't cook. I like to eat, but I can't cook. Deborah's always taken care of me that way. But tonight, she hands me this meatloaf, and I was like, where's the dessert, lady? You don't get dessert after 40 years of marriage.
Oh, yes. Yeah, Bill, I know this pain. Siggy got me to marry her based on this little chocolate ruglach she would always make. Oh, she made them for years. And now I can't have them, she says. Now she's concerned about my health.
You have had a lifetime's worth.
But I'm still alive. Maybe you haven't seen me in a while because I'm in your basement, but I'm still alive.
So let's talk. What brought you into the room tonight?
I'll start. I just love talking to folks, getting out of the media and what they want us to think about each other. No one else on earth is doing this like we do. Maybe no one's crazy enough to. I just really enjoy this. You know, a Jew, a Christian, and a Muslim walk into a bar, you know, it's a joke.
Well, only one of them would be drinking, right? It's me.
Drinking? Drinking what, Asa?
Asa, really?
It's fine.
I guess I came here because I always talk about how people don't know any Muslims and they just have their opinions about us based on pop culture or movies, of course, politics. You know, it's also Hollywood. Unrealistic, it's dramatic. So I just started thinking and about who's in my circle, and I realized maybe it's not just, maybe it's also me that doesn't know many people outside of my own experience. So
I don't know any Muslims. When I was younger, I thought everyone who was wearing a hijab was a nun, actually. I had no idea.
Surprise! No, we are not Catholic.
I figured that out. I don't think I've ever had a conversation with a Muslim person about their faith. And without a doubt, no one in my family has.
Have you ever talked to a Muslim about anything?
I haven't. I mean, that I know of. I really didn't know any Jewish people before either, or Black people.
Crystal, and I think maybe we talked a little about this before, but I was raised the same. The first time I ever saw a Black person, I was 24 years old. I mean, one that wasn't on TV, 24. And I wasn't even scared. Oh, scared because you've never seen someone like that. But you know them from Good Times and the Jeffersons.
So you just thought we were all...
Dynamite, baby. I thought you were all cool and slick. And I went up to the brother. Yes,
Oh, Lord, Bill.
I said to him, "What's poppin', brother?" And I gave him one of these. Yeah. I wanted to let him know that I was on his side. And yes, I was sheltered and I was raised with all kinds of bad language and what I now know to be racism. But I loved him no matter what, because he was my brother in Christ.
And what did he say, Bill?
Well, Dorothy, he took one look at me and he said, "Man, if you don't get out of my face." Oh, Dorothy, I backed up so fast. I said, I am so sorry, sir.
And I would have said the same thing. Get out of my face.
Oh,
You were looking at him like a character, not like a man. That's what folks do when they don't know a person or a group. They just make them up based on what they think they know.
exactly.
Well, to be fair, I mean, I do that with people who aren't even that different from me. Like if I see a girl at yoga and she's wearing a certain brand or has a certain body type, I've already decided who she is, how she is, what she's about, and whether or not we can be friends.
So I said, what do you think that girl thinks about you?
Oh man, I don't know. I mean, obviously that I'm awesome.
Awesome. That reminds me. I was listening to this song today and it just struck me. You all know this one, right? Our God is an awesome God.
Rains from heaven above with wisdom, power, and love.
Our God is an awesome God. Our God, we can all sing it if we know it, is an awesome. I love this song to worship our Savior, Jesus Christ. Not only Jesus, of course. You don't know that song, do you?
Oh, they skipped this one in Hebrew school, Bill.
Do you know Tala al-Badru Alaina?
Oh, no.
Tala al-Badru Alaina min taniyati wada.
وجب الشكر علينا ما دعا لله داع.
I'd love to hear you do a song in Hebrew. Like, what was that song, Asa? Hine matovu manahim.
Devetahim gam yahad.
Hine matovu manahim.
Devetahim gam yahad. Mom, I didn't forget the song just because I haven't been to synagogue in forever.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I have tried my hardest to sing in Hebrew and other languages. I don't know how you folks do it. I just think English is easier and more people know it.
We don't know the Christian songs any more than you know the Muslim songs.
Oh, right.
We're the one.
But they're just easier to learn. That's why I love the music that Bill plays at church. Everybody can read it. It goes from this way to this way, like it's supposed to. And everybody knows English and it just makes sense.
Arabic makes sense too.
Oh, of course it does. I just mean Christianity's English is easier.
Crystal, you're not listening.
English is actually a very hard language to learn. There are so many rules to it, and at the same time, there are no rules at all.
Yeah, my mother had to learn English, and she didn't realize sometimes she thought she was speaking in English, but had accidentally slipped back into Yiddish. And before you know it, the kid at the grocery store is asking me, "What's this lady saying?" Towards the end of her life, she hardly never spoke English anymore. She just went back to her birth tongue.
Did it ever bother anyone else that Christianity is the default, that white Christianity is the default, and everybody else's experiences just get to live somewhere on the periphery? Like Bill just dives right into this Christian song that nobody knows, but we're all just supposed to know it.
I didn't mean any offense. I'm going to learn other songs.
No.
I could play Hava Nagila right now if you want me to.
No, it's not you. I remember growing up, and every time I would tell someone I was Jewish, I was bombarded with all these questions. And it just became really tiresome. So then if it ever came up, I'd just be like, I'm Christian. And then people would just accept it and move on.
But don't you think it was good they were asking questions? It means they were interested in you.
Yep. But were they?
sometimes that can feel more like you're on display than actual interest.
Yeah, out there, you can't always trust everybody's intentions.
Yeah, I never knew who was going to befriend me and want to come to temple with me, or who was going to, I don't know, just
Put bacon in my locker.
Oh, oh.
Wow. I never thought of us as the default.
Yes, but you are. I mean, I would love to have a Ramadan off,
Mm.
or even a Eid celebration where we don't have to work or go to school, because everybody takes the Muslim holidays off, you know? I mean, we talk about religious freedom. I want to feel like that extends to all of us. Yes?
Right, right. A Rosh Hashanah off, a Yom Kippur week off.
Oh,
My friends still ask me every year, now what is Yom Kippur about again?
Yes, why aren't you eating? Oh my
Yeah.
God. It's so hard for people to step outside themselves and just try to care about another culture. I mean, we're still Americans.
I don't think anyone ever has looked at me as an American, you know? And I paid to be here too.
Mm.
I think that's right, Siba. I know for a fact that my father doesn't think people like you should be here.
But what's people like me? I mean, women, brown women, immigrant women, Muslim, Lebanese, which me?
Immigrants, Muslims. He is straight up terrified of Muslims. It comes out of his mouth as hate, but what it really is fear.
Are you sure about that?
I know he's just never had the exposure to other people, and if he did, he would see the truth about y'all. But I don't think that's ever going to happen.
Does your dad go to church?
My dad is the pastor.
oh. Huh.
If we can't win over the past, then there's no hope.
I feel like this country is on fire yet again. Last time things were this explosive, I was a little girl, and I was in church down south, and I can remember the women there. Big hats and clapping, and the floors were made of wooden planks. And the harder they prayed, the more they would stomp their feet. Heels hitting the boards and springing up old dust out of the cracks. If you grew up with that sound, you never forget it. I thought for sure whatever these women were praying against didn't stand a chance. I guess it's time to rip up the carpet out of the church.
Mm.
well,
I never felt so afraid as I have the past few years, Dorothy,
No end in sight.
especially after what?
our family cemetery was vandalized by some of those, whatever they're calling them. I mean, we don't know who they are, obviously, but you can imagine the kind of people. They desecrated the tombs of people that we love.
Hiram's father. Hiram's father's tombstone.
It was pushed over and spray painted after Charlottesville.
You think it's just a headstone. It's not him. You tell yourself that, but it does nothing to ease the anger you feel. And the person you respected the most is nothing to those people. They don't see that the headstone is attached to a man. My father.
It makes us very sad to think about.
Didn't make me sad. It made me filled with this thing that isn't anger. It's deeper than that. It's scary.
Was it hate?
Maybe. I don't know. I've never felt anything like that. It was a rage that. Can we move on?
No, let's sit with that.
I am so sorry to hear this, Asa. I know those people, not those people like that. The folks who would think that that was acceptable or some type of a statement.
So do I, Bill.
Mm-hmm. And I have seen them just get bolder and bolder. I hope, Asa, that's not what you've been feeling, because it does nothing but destroy.
Amen.
So why would I have to be the one who's the bigger person, huh? Why do I have to be the one to forgive first?
It sets you free. It's not easy. You can't carry all that. Hiram, you too.
Yes, but it's been hard to practice myself.
لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. I'm sorry.
I always remember that other people's mess has nothing to do with me personally. It's about them. I have faith that one day they'll wake up to the wrong that they've done.
No, it's America. Does anyone think they're wrong anymore?
If they do it quietly.
That's right.
That used to be me. I have held up signs at places I shouldn't have. I've called people names. And I'm still here. And I'm grateful to be in this room.
There are people out there who think they're being a warrior for Christ who would never be here with us. And you're right, it's not personal, but in a way, that's almost worse.
Crystal, what did it take for you to see things differently?
I had kids. I had kids, and it was like a flash of everything I had ever been taught growing up. And the second they put that child in my arms, I knew that who I was didn't feel right. And I didn't want that for her. Dorothy actually has really taken me under her wing. When you decide to grow, not everybody comes with you, and I'm learning that the hard way.
I ask because those are the people that I feel most at odds with. People who have no respect for my religion. People who would never say Black Lives Matter. People, I don't know how we can find common ground if they can't even admit that my life as a human just simply matters.
And Fatima, we may never. There's a whole lot of folks not interested in changing. It's always been the case, but that doesn't stop us. It never has.
Even though, yes, these terrible things have happened to us, we were not so innocent in our reactions to others as well. My family wasn't. I grew up with money and white and Jewish, and we didn't too much mix with other people. And I remember my grandmother telling me, why would we do that? This is where we are comfortable. This willing segregation was just the norm, and we were comfortable. But you know, along with that creates these chasms of ignorance where we don't know our neighbors, but we've decided who they are for them. People punch down to us, we punch down to others.
No, it's different levels, but it all leads to the same place, a place each generation inherits, and it's up to them to push the needle.
I know for a fact I've evolved. Being Christian isn't this rigid thing, thing that it used to be. You can love God and be human too, make mistakes and just being a good person in the world, trying your best. I used to hold myself up to all kinds of standards I couldn't keep. The Christianity I inherited, I never could have sustained. It's grown with me, and and we've grown together.
Yes, the same. Dorothy, I grew up very traditional, and we were surrounded by our big family for many, many years. All of my aunts and uncles and cousins and people who I don't know if they were related by blood, but they were always there. And then the family gets thinner over the years. And I and my generation, we tried to hold it all together. And now it's more of a come if you can thing than a of course you will be there thing. And I don't know how I feel about that. And this pandemic has only worsened it. Imagine all the things you don't get to do together as you say goodbye to your mother. I wish we could have kept more from the past. I do. I love the spectacle of that generation. Gorgeous dresses, huge platters, laughter, music, fights, the squabbles the ants would get into. I don't know what changed culturally, but I think it's there in the culture that has changed. We just got to a place where we didn't need or want people so much. We just got a little more casual, maybe too casual. But now it's too late to go back. And we're trying to pass a torch that does not have the same significance as it did 60 years ago.
We live in a more aware, but also a more jaded society, I assume. I mean, people are more dispensable than they were before. Now, if I don't like the things that you say on Facebook, I can just block you and never talk to you again. But if it weren't for Facebook, I probably would have never talked to you in the first place. So we're connected, but angry and divided, and we're tired. I mean, Crystal, Fatima, you're probably the same age as I am, right?
Yeah, we're tired, but I thought it was just the kids.
Oh, well, I mean, I have a cat, so.
For me, I just seen how society really thinks about me. You know, I have a hard time trusting people outside my faith. So the friends I've had are the ones that I keep.
See, I don't know what I would do without my mom friends. I mean, who brings you coffee and listens to all your baggage?
My mom friends.
Oh, right, of course.
Yeah, they bring me food and we talk and all of that. It's the same, exact same as it is for you, Crystal. Probably just less blind.
Right.
So then why can't the two of you be mom friends?
Oh, I mean, that would be great. I would love that, Fatima, to get our kids together to play.
Yeah, I think for me that would just take more time. You know, I just would want to know that I was safe. You know, maybe at the park or something, or in my home. You can come to my house.
Oh, we love the park. What do you mean by safe?
Well, if we were to come to your house for a play date and you had another friend over or something, you know, I wouldn't want to feel like I was on the spot or, you know, feel like I was a joke or an outsider.
Oh my gosh, Fatima, I would never do that to you. I mean, the girls I hang out with are sweet. And you know what? That's fine. But I would love to be with you and your children.
We can do that.
Well, then I am going to drop off my kids to you as well.
Oh, Siba, you too. Yes, come.
Can I bring my
Oh,
cat?
no. I will not stay. I will just drop them off to you.
Oh, what are my neighbors going to think? Me surrounded by all these little brown children. I didn't mean anything by that. That was just an observation of how funny it would look. I'm sorry.
It's okay. We know you meant it with a light heart.
Truly,
But that is why we're tired.
I wasn't thinking, and I didn't know that would be offensive.
That's what I mean when I said I didn't want to come to your home to be a joke.
It's always impact over intent, Crystal.
Yeah, it can be very hard to trust.
I see.
I mean, for me, I think after 9/11 was when everything changed, when my trust had to become earned. I had just moved here 2 years before, and I was very young, and I had a new baby, my first. So, everything was heightened, you know? The people who used to smile at me did not even greet me anymore. The places I was welcome at, they used to say, "Oh, Siba, hello, come in, welcome." They no longer welcome me. And like you said, Crystal, people used to think the hijab was only for the nun, right? And after that, to them, it meant terrorism. And it was dangerous to wear. And everywhere you hear about the hate crimes against the Muslims and even the Sikhs, because no one knows the difference between us anyway. We all just look like terrorism. I asked my family, should I continue to wear the hijab or should I not? Because I was scared. I was afraid for myself and my baby. So I no longer wore the hijab for a while. And for me, my scarf is beautiful. It's a reminder of my sanctity for Allah. And I wish it was also respected here in America because I am an American too.
That's funny. It was after 9/11 I started wearing my scarf. I was so angry and so mad at a world that would turn its back on me because of something somebody else did. I was so angry that people would rather hate me than become educated about me. There was no Fatima. It was just Muslims, and most people didn't even know any. So this is who we are now. And I wasn't gonna let them take that from me. So I put my scarf on. I got spit at and had it torn off of me and called names.
That is just vile. How do you not hate them?
Because that's not what Allah wants.
But I had things happen to me when I was younger that made me not want to be Jewish, even though I was extremely privileged. It made me not want to not be Jewish, just be normal.
Asa, as your father, I say this to you with love. You are not normal.
I am the first to admit I'm the most normal nobody that ever walked down the street. But I have felt uncomfortable. Boy, people really look at you sideways when you start saying stuff like, "Can I share with you how much God loves you?"
Yes, they do. They just think you're a stranger.
Yes, I'm a stranger to them. And to me, they are my neighbor. And the second all of you popped onto the screen today, whether I'd known you or not, you are my family.
Hey, but what if I don't want to be?
You can be that quiet little cousin ain't nobody seen in a minute. That doesn't mean I don't have love for you.
Bill, I think we are different in the way that if I went up to somebody and started praying for them, it would not go over so well, I think.
You may be right about that.
But I meet everybody with love and open arms. I see no strangers. When we moved here, we had a neighbor who was clearly very uncomfortable with us, with me mostly. And so I bake him cookies and I take them next door and leave them Christmas gifts for 2 years. I did this. And at first I get a little, and then I get compliments on my flowers in the front. And then last year, I got a Christmas gift back. And I wasn't in it for the gifts, but
But you shouldn't have to do all of that just to get him to care about you.
I know, but I do it because I love him and because he is my neighbor and because we share a fence. And now we have a conversation that does not have to start with the fear of the unknown of me or even of me towards him.
Siba, when Asa was little and Hiram and I moved into our house, now there were no other Jewish people on the block.
How would you even know that, Mama?
Well, wait for Christmas to come along. And if your house is the only one dark, there you go.
True.
And I did the same thing. I wanted to know my neighbors because where I came from before, everybody was just like us. I wanted Asa to grow up around many, many types of people, and she did. So maybe my trade there was some of that loss of tradition. I think Asa learned more about other cultures than I did. And at times I have wondered, sometimes I fear that all our traditions will end with you, Asa. We just take for granted that we will always be able to pass the torch, but what if you don't want it? And it's, it's okay if you don't. I have to learn to be okay with it. It's my job as your mother to just love you. Just love Asa.
But it's not that I don't want it, Mama. I never want to let you down, okay? Like, how could I ever step into your shoes, into Bubby's shoes? I have serious doubts about all of this.
It's okay to have doubts, Asa. It's okay to question it all.
It's okay to throw away everything you thought you knew and try something else.
Just you being here is a testament to the love you have within for your mama, for your Bubby. Bubby. I used to call my grandmother Iya and my grandfather Papo.
My grandparents were Tete and Jiddo.
Did anybody else have a Meemaw and a Peepaw?
Oh,
Y'all can laugh. I know how silly it is.
I had a granny, and oh, do I miss her every day. But she's right here with me. The same way Bubby is with you. She is why you're here.
I can never be her.
She doesn't want you to be her. We look up so much to the people who came before us. They're the giants, right? My granny, she was everybody's granny. And every Sunday she would make these elaborate dinners, and she had this big old pot. You know, one of them old stew pots. And we always joked because we could always come through with an extra person. A stray, she would call them. There was always enough food. That pot was like the Mary Poppins bag. You know the one. It just never ended. And she would say, that table has more leaves than a sycamore tree. The table always had one more chair. But she wasn't a giant. She was a woman, flawed and fearful and complex, just like I am, just like you, figuring it out, trying the ingredients to get them to stretch. Bubby was just figuring it out. And that's the torch she passed on to you.
when I think about what I want to pass on to my kids, their torch won't be like the one I was given. I want to give them the torch of love. Imperfect love.
And I love you. And we're going to keep working on them jokes.
Yes, ma'am.
I want my children to know that love in the face of hate is a revolution they did not ask for, but alhamdulillah, they are ready for. I've made them ready.
I hope I pass to my sons that men cry. I want them to know that.
You cry, Bill?
Oh, now you stop it. I know you've seen me, Dorothy.
Yes, I have. Yes, I have. And it is a beautiful thing.
I want my children to be proud, so proud of all the many things we are. I want them to love their skin and their hair and their faith so much that it becomes unshakable.
I still want to have a play date with you, Fatima, and your kids. I mean, please, when you're comfortable.
We will.
Asa, what do I pass on to you?
I don't know. Cash would be nice.
My sense of humor.
Why is this so hard for me? I feel like everything is so hard for me.
You have your walls up, Asa.
Bubby used to tell me that my walls were too tall. She was the only one who could get through to me sometimes.
Let us help you take them down. I'm still working on mine, but it's worth it.
It's scary.
Oh,
Be brave, Asa.
I mean, don't my walls keep me safe?
You only think they keep you safe. They don't really.
I feel so alone.
You're not alone.
I don't know if I'll do it right.
No one does, my Asa.
I don't know where I belong.
right here where you are.
I love you, Mama.
Love you, sweetheart.